Hi homeschoolers, it's me Jazz again from Hidden Library Homeschool, and I'm back with yet another book haul of some of the books that we are going through this year. These are the ones that we have added on to our second grade. Some of these we have done already, some we'll be finishing up within the next couple of weeks throughout the end of the year. So I have gotten a bunch of these stepping stone books, and I'm not assigning them to Tony, but I am having him just himself pick one of the books, and he's reading them to me as extra reading practice. So far he has read The War of the Worlds, he's read Dracula, and like I said on the other video, he wanted to get the full version of Dracula, but I figured this would be a decent place to start since it's at a third grade level and not the full adult version, which I don't even think I haven't read the full version myself, so I wanted to read that one before he actually went into it, because it's probably a little above a 7-year-old's head. He also read Frankenstein. He hasn't read these yet, but we have these for him to pick from: 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Gulliver's Travels, The Phantom of the Opera, and The Mysteries of Sherlock Holmes. This version of Sherlock Holmes I wasn't too impressed with. There's probably a better version out there that I have been looking for, but for now we have this version. We already went through A Grain of Rice. We did Palia's First Day, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing her name right. And since we are doing a lot of Dahl's books this year, well, not a lot, we're doing 4 of his books this year. We have Dahl Quiz Book. And this goes over, where's the contents? These books right here. So we're only doing 2 of these this year. The last week of school we have Matilda scheduled, and we have to finish Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We tried to start that as an audiobook, but it was a little bit scratchy after the first CD when we got it from the library, so I'm either going to have to purchase my own or hope that they've cleaned it, and so we can get through that book too. For an audiobook, I like to have on hand a paper copy also, but we'll be doing this as an audiobook, Mr. Popper's Penguins. Earlier this year we did a series of unfortunate events, The Bad Beginning. We also did, the first week of school, we did the BFG. And this one we didn't do this year, but we did this one last year, and I just got around to purchasing the paper copy of the book. And this book is hilarious. This is such a great book. My kids loved it. They were laughing the whole time. And while this is an awesome book and you could really get through it just reading it to your children, I personally feel like if you're not doing the audio version, you are missing out. Because the woman who does the audio version really, really brings it to life. Had my kids laughing, all the voices and the sounds that she does. She is just a brilliant narrator. Since we love Horrible Harry, we have Song Lee in Room 2B. When we did Vikings, Olaf's Saga, and this is one of the Go Bananas books. Oh, that's all the books that we've already done so far. I'm also having him read by himself the Stepping Stone books, and a couple of the little early readers he reads to me. These books right here, The Treasury of Illustrated Classics, we have a couple on the shelf that I got from Hobby Lobby, but I got a couple more, and these he reads to himself and then tells me about the chapter that he's read. So we have Moby Dick to add to our collection, and The Wind in the Willows. And we also have Robinson Crusoe, and this is a Classic Start book. I tried to get a book. Tony is really interested in presidents and George Washington. He's excited about starting out with him next year. He loves to hear about anything that has to do with Abraham Lincoln. So I wanted to get him something about presidents. So I tried to get this book here, Commander-in-Chief's The Big Move, and this sounded like it was going to be a really good book with lots of information. But this was kind of a disappointment for a couple of different reasons. It seemed like all the information was forced. It seemed a lot more childish, which probably sounds like a weird thing to say because it's for children, but it just wasn't written, I guess, in the way that I expected it to be written. It really just seemed like they were saying, oh, by the way, this is here, oh, by the way, as opposed to making it kind of flow seamlessly through it. And this book was kind of annoying me, but I was like, I should just finish it. It's really short, so, why not? But then, and this has nothing to do with the book itself, just this copy of the book, once I got to this point, I gave up because this copy goes from page 42 to 49, and then over here goes from 74 to 59, and I was just like, that's just my cue to be done, because the book wasn't working for me anyway, and then I couldn't read it in the correct way, and the numbers weren't, you know, flowing correctly, so I give up on this one. But it does have at the back, let's see, where is it? Okay, it does have the presidents, and it goes through all of them. It only goes as far as Barack Obama, because I think this book is a couple years old, and it does tell you a little bit about some facts about the different presidents and stuff. So it's not completely useless of a book, but it just wasn't the historical fiction or the kind of information type of book that I was really going for. And I also have Flat Stanley, and this is probably the third copy I have of this book. This book either gets ripped, gets written on, gets eaten, so I bought it once again. I read it, I think, in like preschool or pre-K to Tony, but he probably doesn't really remember it, and he's able to read this on his own. It says ages 7 to 10, so he should be able to read this to me over the summer. My hair is coming apart. I have Sprout Street Neighbors, 5 stories, and like I said at the beginning of the year, I was trying to get the first book in a couple of different series for younger kids for Tony to try to see which ones he would try to get into. And this book, I don't even think I'm going to give to him. It was kind of predictable and boring. If he were to want to pick it up, then that's fine, but it wasn't something that will make it onto my school shelf. And another book that we have is Welcome to the Bed and Biscuit, and this was another one that was a little bit disappointing. It just, man, I read this a couple of months ago. Why didn't I like this book? I think, and don't quote me on it, but I think this one was right off the bat within the first chapter. They were being incredibly rude to each other, and I'm pretty sure that this was the book where they were being, yeah, I'm pretty sure that this was this one, that they weren't speaking in a way that was something that I wanted in a book, so I gave up on that book. So yeah. But some other books that we have for 2nd grade, we have Great Medieval Projects You Can Build Yourself, and this one we are going to start not this coming week but the week after, once we kind of round off within the Middle Ages. And I don't know how many of the projects we'll actually get into, but I do like this book, for this series of books, for the illustrations, for the way it's written. We have enjoyed some of the other names in this, some of the other titles in this series. And another series that we really like, the You Wouldn't Want to Be series. We have You Wouldn't Want to Be a Viking Explorer. We did this one. We have yet to do You Wouldn't Want to Be Joan of Arc, and You Wouldn't Want to Be a Crusader. I've got a copy of Beowulf, Hero's Tale Retold. And one of the reasons I wanted this book was, if I can find, I like that they have the pronunciation, so you can know how to pronounce things and it not be, let's see if it's on another one, and you're not just be guessing on an old time type of name if you haven't, really heard it out loud. So I like that they have it written out. We did The Moon Seems to Change, and of course they had fun with this with the Oreos. So, and now every time my son has Oreos, he is saying, I have this type of moon, I have this type of moon. So he enjoyed this book. We will be doing Brothers of the Night. And we also have Doodle Lit. And this book, it is, like it says, a doodle book. And this one doesn't have a table of contents. I'm not sure if it's supposed to have one, because I saw one online, but this one, I'm not seeing it. Out of this book, we did, when he did the Illustrated Classics, he did the Jungle Book, he did Dracula, and did he do another one out of here? There's a couple of different stories in here. It's hard to go through it and like really say what's in here since I don't have a table of contents to go through. But that just has little activities, and like with Dracula, it's saying, oh, you do Dracula, read the book, and then make him a new cape because he's been wearing his for, you know, a couple hundred years, or design a new castle. And it's just fun little activities for the kids to do when they, after they've read the book. And we also have Do Re Mi. And I have Who Says Women Can't Be Doctors? The Story of Elizabeth Blackwell. So those are some of the books that I've added to this year for second grade that we've either gotten through or will get through in the next couple of weeks as we finish out our school year. And I will be back with more more books, even more books that I have just piling around, and then hopefully I can actually put them away where they need to be. So thanks for checking this video out from Hidden Library Homeschool. Please like, comment, subscribe below. Bye.